My parents barred my kids and I from the year-end gathering. Hours later, my brother shared a photo with the words, "Family only, no troublemakers." I tapped like and replied, "Congrats. Mortgage and taxes are all yours now." 10 minutes later, the post vanished, and 90 missed calls poured in. Can you imagine being banned from your own family's holiday party, just for existing? What if that family-only invite was actually a brutal declaration of war against you? Because for me, Don, a 36-year-old screenwriter, that's exactly how it felt. I've learned to outline chaos into acts because, let's be real, life doesn't stick to a script. I'm the older son, the one who crafts stories, while my brother Mark, well, he makes money. My life is a constant juggle. 2 lunchboxes, 1 dented thermos with a dinosaur sticker, a calendar that looks like a crime scene. I write early, do school drop-offs, write again, pick up, reheat leftovers, bedtime, notes, pages, revisions. Repeat. It was December 29th, a gray, wet day, when the first punch landed. I was buckling my daughter into her booster seat when my phone lit up. A text from my mother. It read, "Don, after discussing with your father, we think it's best if you and the kids skipped the year-end party. It's family only this time, less drama." Family only. The words just hung there. I looked at my 8-year-old's purple sneakers, muddy at the toes. My 5-year-old son hummed the Jaws theme in the back seat, because he actually thinks it's a lullaby. And in that moment, something inside me just broke. I called Mom. She picked up on the 3rd ring, almost like she'd been bracing for it. "Mom." My voice was tight. Her voice, crisp, cut me off. "Don, don't start. It's not about you. It's about tone, your energy. The kids are loud. People need rest after a hard year. The kids are loud at a party? Don't take everything personally." Then, of course, Dad chimed in on speaker. Always speaker. "Son, you know your mother's blood pressure spikes when there's tension. Let's keep the peace. We'll do something with just you and the kids later." Later, in my family means never. I kept my voice flat, almost robotic. "So, it's family only, but not me. Not my children." A pause. The kind where you can hear the faint clink of a spoon in a mug. "You've been difficult," my mother said. "Always complaining about money, bills, deadlines. It's a celebration, not a committee meeting." "Okay," I said, because if I'd said what I felt, my son would have learned new words before kindergarten. I hung up. My daughter asked, "Are we still seeing Grandma?" "Not today," I said. "Grandma's tired." She nodded, processing it. "Can we make our own party?" "Yeah," I said, forcing a smile. "We can." 2 hours later, scrolling on the couch while the kids glued glitter to paper crowns, I saw it. My brother's post. My parents' living room. The string lights I put up last year still there. Mark, in a brand new sweater, arm around our cousins. The table loaded. The caption, "Family. No troublemakers." That hit me right in the teeth. I didn't comment. Not yet. I just watched the little hearts pop and the comments roll in. "Gorgeous family," someone wrote. "Love this tribe." Then, "Where's Dawn?" from an aunt. Mark replied with a winking emoji, probably writing, "Drama." I set the phone face down. I breathed. Inhale. Exhale. Internal note. Act 1 is always the lie the family tells. I didn't start with drama. I grew up with it. My mother loves order. My father loves numbers. To them, love was an invoice. When I was 17 and got into a film program, Mom said, "It's a hobby." Dad ran a spreadsheet and found a cheaper degree I might consider. Mark, 3 years younger, had the easy grin, the varsity jacket, the charm. "He'll run a team by 30, Dad used to say. "Don will write about it," Mom added, like it was a punchline. We'd laugh, because that was safer. I left at 19 with a backpack and a draft of a script called Wrong House. I worked nights, wrote mornings, and swapped. I learned to pitch with coffee breath and a knot in my tie. I learned that most doors open because you're willing to knock forever. I also learned that parents can be proud only in public. In private, they just change the subject. When I first started selling rewrites, I did what a good son was expected to do. I helped. I paid Mark's parking tickets when they stacked up like junk mail. I covered the copay when Dad needed tests, and their great insurance turned out to be mostly vibes. When the water heater broke, I sent a check. No questions asked. "We'll pay you back," Mom said. They didn't. "Family isn't about counting," Dad said. But it was. We just weren't the ones doing the math. Then I got married too fast. and divorce too slow. 2 kids, 2 bedrooms, 1 car that squeaks when it turns right. The settlement was fair. The rent was not. I picked up every assignment I could, punch-ups on comedies, a thriller that never got made but paid in installments that arrived like surprise weather. I stacked savings in a folder called Roof and Shoes because kids outgrow both at the speed of light. My parents called me for small emergencies. The property tax notice came in January. Do we have to pay all of it? That dentist takes only up front. Your aunt needs help with her phone plan. It was never "Can you?" It was always, "Here's the account number." I kept receipts at first, then stopped, because the folder made me feel petty. I told myself I wasn't buying love, just buying peace. Mark never asked. He told, "Bro, spot me just this month. Bro, the interest rate is a joke. Bro, you're the writer, write it off." He called me bro, the way people say buddy, before they cut you in line. I said yes because I thought that's what older brothers do. Because I thought it was a season. Because I was tired, and the kids needed shoes again. And saying no takes longer than saying yes when your phone rings in the cereal aisle. The first big turn came 3 years ago. Dad wanted to simplify their finances and put the house in a trust. He asked me to look at the papers. "It's all standard," he said. "Mark's friend drafted it. We just need a signature as a witness." I read the doc between pickups, circled irrevocable, and texted Dad that we should slow down. He replied, "Don't be dramatic." Later that week, I found a photocopy in their kitchen drawer. My name, my signature, except I hadn't signed. Mom said, "We used the old copy you signed for the bank. Saves time." She said it like she'd found an extra coupon. I stared at the page. The ink line was clean, but the loop on the D was wrong. My mother stirred sauce and didn't look up. "We're too old for mess," she said. "You know that." I didn't fight. Not then. I scanned everything, made a private folder, and moved a little further away inside my own chest. Then there was the year we floated you, as Mom calls it. Truth? The year I floated them. Property taxes went up. Dad didn't adjust his withholding. Mom decided retirement meant 2 vacations. I paid the shortfalls. "We'll settle at Christmas," Dad said. "We'll make a plan," Mom added. Christmas came with a ham and a photo. No plan. Mark got engaged that winter. Nice girl at first. Pretty smart. In front of her, Mark turned the volume down on his swagger. Our parents adored her. My kids called her Aunt Maybe. There was a shower and a registry and a speech where Dad toasted the son who keeps things moving. I clapped. I also picked up the venue deposit temporarily when the card had a fraud hold. After the engagement party, Mark cornered me near the coat rack. "Listen," he whispered, like we were in on something together. "I know I'm behind. When my promotion hits, I'll square up. You know I will." "You owe me 6,000, I said quietly. He flinched like I'd used a slur. "Wow, you're really keeping score." "Yes." He rolled his eyes. "You're the one with the movie money." "It's TV, I said. "And it's rent." He patted my shoulder. "You get paid to make stuff up. I get paid to deliver. Everyone has a role." I went home and wrote 8 pages of dialogue where a brother tells the truth and the other brother listens. It read like science fiction. Then the year-end party tradition started to wobble. The first year, they forgot to tell me the time changed. "We thought you were too busy," Mom said. "The kids get cranky past 9. Dad said. Mark posted a photo at 8:07 p.m. I liked it and wrote, "Fun." Mom texted me, "Why did you make me look bad?" The next year, we were late because my son threw up on the steps. When we arrived with a clean shirt and ginger ale, Mom hugged the kids, but didn't hug me. "You don't prioritize family," she said in the kitchen. "You prioritize your moods." My moods. The next draft of my life had fewer scenes in their house. But money kept pulling me back. Dad invented phrases like family float and interest of the heart. I invented phrases like boundaries and then broke them. Every time I said no, Mom would sigh and say, "You know who we can count on? Mark." Then Mark would ask me for money the same afternoon. Comedy. This December, it wasn't a wobble. It was a door slammed shut with a caption, "Family only. No troublemakers." Troublemakers. That was me now. Not because I caused trouble, but because I stopped absorbing it silently. I didn't plan a confrontation. I planned a quiet evening with glitter and crowns, to my daughter's playlist that plays the same 5 songs like it's a radio station run by squirrels. But then my aunt asked, "Where's Don?" Under Mark's photo. Then my cousin wrote, "Miss those kids." Then Mark joked, They're practicing drama. I scrolled up to the top of the thread where Mom had texted, family only, less drama. And I made a simple decision. If they wanted a script, I'd give them one. With receipts. With act breaks. With a clear third act choice. Keep the money, or keep the performance of family. They couldn't have both. At 9:14 p.m., after the kids were asleep, paper crowns tilted over their eyes, I opened Mark's post. I tapped the heart. The blue thumbs floated. Then I commented, "Congrats, Mark. Looks amazing. Since it's family, here's a family update. Mortgage, insurance, property tax, and interest of the heart are all yours now. I'm out." It was neat. It was almost gentle. It was the kind of line you can put on a t-shirt. Within 30 seconds, my phone buzzed. Then it jittered. Then it howled. Mom calling. Declined. Dad calling. Declined. Mark calling. Declined. Group chat. Don, delete that right now. Mom. I typed. I won't. I'll send a summary tomorrow with numbers. Mark replied under the photo. Dude, what are you doing? This isn't the place. I typed back. It literally is. Then I dropped 4 screenshots in the family chat, not in the comments, because I wasn't going to feed the crowd. The screenshots had dates, amounts, the little notes I wrote in the memo field. Heater, root canal, ticket X3, deposit, tax shortfall Q2, 3 years. Every transfer. I didn't add snark. I didn't add arrows. Just the numbers and the word cleared. Mom, you are humiliating us. Dad, this is not how adults behave. Mark, bro, take it down. People are seeing this. Me. Then stop saying it publicly. Silence for a minute. Then Dad tried to shift the script. If you needed help, you should have said. We would have organized. I laughed in my empty living room. Organized with forged signatures? I typed 3 dots. No reply. Mark went for the old move. What forged? What? I sent the trust doc image with the wrong D loop. This time Mom called again. I let it ring. She texted, "We can explain." I typed back. I don't need it explained. I need it stopped. Then I returned to the comment under Mark's photo and added one more line. Happy New Year. Boundaries start now. 10 minutes later, the post vanished. 10 minutes after that, my phone listed 90 missed calls. 90. Mom. Dad. Mom. Mark. Unknown numbers. Aunt Carol. Private. A text from my cousin. Yo, is everything okay? A text from my ex. Are the kids asleep? Do you need anything? A voice memo from Dad that began with son and ended with call me back like a man. I put the phone on Do Not Disturb. I sat at the edge of the couch and listened to my apartment breathe. The kids turned in their sleep and the paper crowns crackled on the pillows. I thought about the drafts I never turned in. The jokes I cut because they were too mean. The scenes where I gave characters grace because I wanted to believe people can change. I also thought about the word troublemaker and how sometimes trouble is just the truth you finally say out loud. Morning hit with orange light on the blinds and a Lego under my heel. I made pancakes and cut them into shapes because that's how my son decides if food is food. I poured coffee and opened my phone, ready for smoke. There it was, a message avalanche. Family chat with 146 on red. A separate parent-only chat that I had been added to at 2:11 a.m., titled Urgent. A direct message from Mark. We can fix this. Brunch. I scrolled first. That's my rule. Collect the beats before you pick a scene. Mom at 10:01 p.m. You love hurting me. You always have. Dad at 10:03 p.m. What are you, a bank? This is family. Aunt Carol at 10:07 p.m. Kids shouldn't be punished. Don, think of your mother's heart. Cousin Jana at 10:12 p.m. TBH, I didn't know you covered all that. That's a lot. Mom at 10:19 p.m. Jana, stay out of this. Mark at 10:22 p.m. Numbers are wrong. Me at 10:23 p.m. They're your numbers. Silence in the group for an hour. At 11:31 p.m., Dad posted a spreadsheet of his own. No joke. Projections. It had a tab called Expectations 2026. He had listed monthly contributions from Don next to utilities, HOA, and Netflix in bold. I replied at 6:17 a.m. after pancakes. Delete that tab. Delete the assumption. Mom called. I picked up because the kids were laughing, and the sound made me brave. She skipped hello. What was last night? Her voice was tight and small. You humiliated your family. You humiliated me first, I said. You banned me and my children from a party and called it family only. You call me a troublemaker. That was Mark's caption, she said quickly. You liked it? I said. She sighed. You read too much into things. I'm a screenwriter, not a mind reader. I read what's on the page. I kept my tone clean. Listen, this is simple. I'm not your ATM. I'm not your witness. I'm your son, and I'm a father. That means I have to model how to be treated. We never asked for much, she said. You asked for my name when you needed papers. You asked for my money when the taxes came. You asked for my silence when Mark needed to look like a hero. I took a breath. I enabled all of you because it was easier. That ends today. You're dramatic. I'm boring. Actually, I'm saying no. She went quiet, then softer. We'll pay you back. Good, I said. I'll send a number. You can make payments like any other bill. No more Venmo from my end. No more we'll settle at Christmas. We'll settle on the 15th of every month. I'll send a simple invoice. You'll Zelle. If you're late, there's a fee. That fee will go into a college fund for your grandchildren. She sputtered. You would charge interest on your own parents? You charged interest on my sanity, I replied. I thought she'd hang up. She didn't. She cried. It was the careful crying. The kind where you can still speak between the lines. Your father tried his best. We just wanted you close. You wanted me useful, I said. That's different. You also call me difficult. And you know the forged signature wasn't okay. It wasn't forged. It was copied, she said, like that was a softer crime. Your father didn't want to bother you. It bothered me anyway. She was quiet again. Come by later, she said finally. We'll talk. No, I said. If you want to talk, you and Dad can come to my place at 2. No surprise relatives, no speakerphone. She exhaled in a way that said she would. Fine. I hung up. My daughter walked in with a crown made of new construction paper. Daddy, she said, does Grandma still love me? Yes, I said immediately, because she needed that right now. Adults get confused. It's not your job. She nodded, satisfied for exactly 12 seconds, then asked for more syrup. At 2:05 p.m., my parents stood in my doorway like they were competing in the Olympics of disapproval. Dad's jaw was set. Mom had a folder. They looked smaller somehow in my messy living room, with toys under the coffee table and a half-built castle on the rug. Where are the kids? Mom asked, craning her neck. At their mom's, I said on purpose. We sat. Dad put his hands on his knees. Don, he started, you've made your point. Good, I said. Here's mine formally. I slid 2 papers across the table. The first was a simple ledger of what I'd paid the last 3 years. Totals at the bottom. The second was a new thing I wrote last night, family operating agreement. It was 2 pages, clear font, bullet points. Mom read the title and rolled her eyes. Oh, for heaven's sake. I kept going. 1. I will not be responsible for your mortgage, taxes, utilities, or any ongoing household expense. 2. If you have a true emergency, you will ask before the deadline, not after. 3. If I choose to help, it will be with a written plan and repayment schedule. 4. My name will not appear on legal documents without my consent. 5. Do not exclude my children from family events to punish me. They're not chess pieces. Mom tried to hand the papers back. We're not signing anything. You don't have to sign, I said. You just have to know these are the rules for interacting with me now. Dad scoffed. You think you can run the family like a writer's room? No, I said, but I can decide if I'm in the room at all. He looked at the ledger. He looked at the totals. He winced at one number in particular. This is exaggerated. It's not, I said. I can print the bank statements if the fonts make you nervous. He bristled. There's no need to be disrespectful. Respect is numbers plus behavior, I said. The numbers say I've been covering. The behavior says you pretend I haven't. Mom shifted tactics. We're proud of you, she said, a little too brightly. We brag about you all the time. Then stop mocking me when I'm not in the room, I said. And stop calling me a troublemaker. She looked away. That was Mark. As if on cue. Mark texted. You're insane. Then another. Come meet me now. I put my phone face down. Tell Mark to read the group chat. I'm not meeting him in a parking lot to be told I'm sensitive. Dad's shoulders slumped. I saw the outline of a tired man who'd been playing with broken rules so long he forgot rules existed. He ran a hand over his face. We didn't plan well, he said finally. We assumed you'd be around. I'm still around, I said. I'm just not on autopay. We sat in that stale air a minute longer. Then Mom did something I didn't expect. She opened her own folder and pulled out a greeting card I made in 3rd grade. It had glitter glue on it and my terrible drawing of our house. Inside was a line in pencil. I will always help you because you are my mom and dad. She placed it on the table like evidence. You promised, she said. I looked at my own handwriting. I felt a wave of tenderness and annoyance fight it out in my chest. I was 8, I said. I also promised to become a pirate. Mom's mouth twisted. Then she laughed. A small, true laugh. It surprised both of us. Okay, she said. How do we do this then? Like adults, I said. You tell me what you need in advance. I tell you what I can do. We write it down. If I say no, you don't punish me or my kids. If you say no, I don't punish you. But I have boundaries, and they're not negotiable. Dad nodded reluctantly. And the trust document, I added. Redo it. With a lawyer that isn't your friend's nephew. Without my name anywhere unless I'm in the room. He sighed. Fine. We shook on it. It wasn't warm. It was something else. Honest, maybe. After they left, Mark called 6 times. I didn't pick up. He sent a paragraph about public image and career optics, like he was managing a band. Then he sent the old line. I'll square up when my promotion hits. I typed, start with $200 this Friday. Every Friday. No skips. When you miss, the plan restarts at 0. And I stopped picking up. He wrote back. You're unbelievable. Thanks, I wrote, and put my phone away. That night, I took the kids to the park with leftover glitter still in the stroller cup holder. We played lava floor on the playground. My daughter asked if Grandma was mad forever. No, I said. She just has to learn new rules. My son climbed a ladder and shouted, boundaries, because he'd heard me say it too many times. We laughed. A whole body laugh. People stared. I didn't care. At home, after bath and books, I wrote. Not a revenge script. Not a courtroom scene. A small piece about a dad who stopped choosing peace that hurt and started choosing peace that heals. I kept the prose plain. I left the metaphors in the drawer. I let the truth stand up straight without a costume. At midnight, I checked the family chat one more time. Mom had changed the name of the thread from the family to family lowercase. It felt right. Dad had posted a photo from the party I didn't attend. He wrote, next year, everyone. And then, a minute later, yes, Dawn. Everyone. I didn't reply. I put the phone face down and let the room go quiet. The moral didn't land like a drum solo. It arrived like a check that clears because the math finally makes sense. Here's what I've learned. In plain words, the way I'd explain it to my kids. If someone bans you and your children from family only, they're telling you what family means to them. Believe them. Then decide what family means to you and act like it's true. If you keep paying for peace, you teach people that conflict is free and you'll cover the bill. Stop covering the bill. If someone forges your signature or copies it because they don't want to bother you, that is not love. That is convenience dressed up like care. Name it. Fix it. Don't laugh it off. If you're called a troublemaker for telling the truth, keep telling it. Trouble clears the air. My parents haven't turned into different people. They're just behaving differently with me because I changed the rules and stuck to them. The first Friday after our talk, Dad sent me $40 for gas. A start. Like he needed to practice the movement of giving back. Mom texted a photo of a handwritten budget she'd started. It was messy and real. We're learning, she wrote. I wrote back, me too. Mark sent $200 on time. In the memo, he wrote, bite me. I didn't reply. The next Friday, he sent $200 again. No memo. The year-end party is a story now, not a wound. The caption is the caption. The comment is the comment. The post is gone. The calls were 90, and then they were none. The glitter washed out of the crowns. My kids sleep like kids who know home is where their dad keeps promises to himself. I'm writing scenes that feel like a life I can live. I'm not a bank, a witness, or a sponge. I'm a father and a man and a writer who finally wrote his own boundaries like dialogue and then said them out loud. I won't be buying love or peace or an invitation ever again. I'll be paying for shoes and school plays and pancakes shaped like stars. And if there's a party with the caption, family only, I'll make our own. We've got crowns. We've got glitter. We've got rules on the fridge. We've got a front door that I open and close on purpose. I thought freedom would feel like slamming the door. It doesn't. It feels like locking it at night and sleeping well because the people inside are finally safe from the story that almost swallowed them. My name is Don. I'm a screenwriter. I won't let anyone edit me out of my own life. Have you ever had to draw a line in the sand with family, even when it felt impossible? What did you discover about yourself, or them, when you finally stood your ground? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I really want to know.